how you got into Great Lakes Brewing Brew Pub. The front entrance is now moved over here. They painted this entire front here, a little bit different entrance, a little bit nicer. Now, if you forget what it looked like, let's take a look, take you back in time to what this looked like 3 weeks ago before they closed down on January 26th. This was more of a dining area, as you see, a lot of different seating areas, a lot of different seating options. Well, that all went away. They came in, did a lot of work, floors, light fixtures, paints, walls going up, things moving around, and drum roll please, da-da-da-da, here we are. This is Brew House #1. This is one of their new concepts. This is kind of more of their fine dining area, and it actually has 2 menus now. So we have one menu for this area, the Brew House #1, which is drink rails, some seating. We have a little bit of the history there. Couple seats over here. A little more upscale fine dining area is what this is going to be known. A kitchen back there, they totally redid that so that they could cook both menus. Over here into the tap room, don't worry, historians did not touch the 1901 historic bar. That's still intact. They did add some lighting, though, up a little bit around the bar area. And then what I think the most dramatic change happened over here. This is now going to be the beer garden, known as the beer garden. A little more of a sports environment. We have TVs up. Of course, you can see Channel 3 on right now and see what we're doing. This is more of a sports environment, though. A totally different menu. This is where you're going to come for that game. Really warmed this up. A lot of paint went into this. They added some walls over here. And it's really meant to be more of that get-together, hang out, put on the Indians game when they're out of town, of course, or put on the Cavs game when they're out of town, of course, maybe the Browns game. Come in, hang out with friends. That's what this is going to be. Now, we're going to jump over on Facebook Live, guys, and continue to get a little more of a tour. I got Allison standing by, the GM, who's going to walk me through a little bit of this process. So we'll give you a little bit more of a look there on Facebook Live. But for now, this opens at 11:30 tomorrow to the public. You can get in and start trying some of these new areas and new menu items. You got it. Thank you. So, I want to double check if we're on Facebook Live here. I just want to double check. You can keep showing if you guys are listening to me. You can hear me, that's great. I'm not sure if I'm on and good thing we changed. I don't know if I have Tyler's number to you. I sent something, but I don't know. You have Tyler's number? Just call the news desk and have it transferred.
Got your little wave in too, that looks good.
We're rolling. Okay. Okay, so we're on Facebook Live now. Hello, Facebook audience. Will with 3 News here at Great Lakes Brewing Company, what used to be a little bit different look here. We are inside. This is the new beer garden, and this is Allison Price, the GM. So you guys closed on January 26th, a Sunday, about 3 weeks ago. What's been going on for 3 weeks?
Oh boy, so much. There have been contractors in here around the clock. We start early in the morning, we finish late at night. It was quite a lot, as you can tell, to get done in such a short time frame. But we spent a lot of time addressing, obviously, the front of house spaces with some updated design, but also with updating the kitchen in a way that would allow us to support executing these 2 new concepts we have in Brew House #1, which is our more sort of elevated gastropub dining experience, and then the beer garden, which is, I think, our answer to like a sports bar, fun, rowdy environment.
More of a sports bar theme, and Hope, feel free to walk around and show people. They don't want to look at me that much. I know that for sure. But Allison, space really warmed up a little bit. If people remember being here, this was a little brighter, and it almost felt patio-ish.
Yeah.
This almost feels three-season room.
It is 100% three-season room, actually 4. In case you didn't notice, it's hailing outside.
It's warmer in here, actually, than I think any other building I've been in today.
Yeah, but of course we kept, the great things about this space, which is the roof that opens up in the summer, making this sort of an outdoor area. The fireplace, which keeps it nice and warm in the winter. But we wanted to make it feel a little bit more like a traditional beer hall or beer garden, as you can see by all the beautiful plants around here. And yeah, a great place where groups of friends can get together, watch the game, hang out, super casual, laid back.
And the TVs are new too, right? There used to not be TVs here.
No TVs in this room.
This is definitely now more of a space where you would think of, I'm going to go watch the game there.
Yeah, and we tried to do our best to honor the Cleveland sports teams. Our company has a really rich history of working with the Indians. Of course, we are the official craft beer partner of the Cleveland Indians, but also the Browns and Joe Thomas.
Got all the flags up there.
Yeah, we have a little moment with Johnny Kilbane, one of Cleveland's most famous boxers that we did a beer with at his family at some point. So little touches, throwbacks to relationships with sports teams in the past, but also with our favorite teams of the present.
So this is the beer garden. This has one menu. And now let's take a little walk over here to where the fine dining option is, and that is Brew House number 1. Allison's going to come along, and we're going to see what happened over there. And of course, all this made possible because, as you mentioned, you redid the kitchen as well so that you guys could cook for 2 different menus if people are over there or over here.
Absolutely.
One thing to make note, I know people were worried when they heard renovation. The 1901 bar still intact. Added a little lighting, but it's still there, preserving the history. So let's head over here to Brew House number 1. First thing that I noticed when I got in was it became a lot more open.
Yeah.
With this as the entrance, we took some tables out over there where people used to enter. You took that area out where now you feel like you can stretch your elbows a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was one of the most challenging things about our space previously was a bit of a pinch point at the front door, which of course is where everyone loves to hang out. It's the bar. So we've now moved the front doors to this big, beautiful room, which almost has a lobby feel. A couple things I love about this space. It's really close to the gift shop, so if there's a bit of a wait for a table, and let's be honest, sometimes there is, hey, grab a beer, walk over, do a little shopping, maybe grab a seat at one of these beautiful drink rails here. You might even catch a glimpse of our pub brewer, Steve Foreman, brewing our next pub exclusive on this beautiful equipment right here. So I think it definitely does open up the space to a lot more mingling, a lot more flexibility in how our guests can sit down, throw back a pint, or wait for a table, do a little shopping. It's now a much more flexible space.
Well, and the interesting thing about over here at Brew House number 1 is you got rid of some tables, but I don't think you got rid of any seating because this drink rail wasn't here before, and I think that's about how many table seats that you had pretty much in that area anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Really through this whole process, we kept this pretty much the same number of seats. We just split into separate concepts so that now you can have a bit of a different experience in different spaces.
So all this opens to the general public at 11:30 p.m. tomorrow.
AM.
Or AM. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what day it is right now. Give me an idea on what's going on. Well, we saw the menus, but is there anything specials that are going on, or anything on the menu that people maybe not recognize when they come in to sit down and go, oh, this is new too?
Sure. Well, with our pub exclusives, we're doing some fun things as well. We're starting a bit of a new line of exclusive beers to our pub called Base Solo, which is something fun that our pub brewer is doing, and sort of a base IPA recipe that then he's going to infuse or brew with different flavors throughout the year. So that will just keep evolving. So we'll always have base solo, but then maybe it's base solo number 1, base solo number 2. Also, our opening beer that I think we're all really excited about is Purple. We will have Purple beer on day 1. So, it's definitely different. It's definitely a bit of a new, maybe a bit more fun, youthful vibe in everything that we've done here, for sure.
As you've seen it all firsthand, what it looked like before, what it looks like now, all the changes, what is your favorite part?
Oh, the beer garden. I love the beer garden. I just want to hang out in there, watch Ohio State play on Saturdays, watch the Browns play on Sundays, catch an Indians game when that roof opens up and it's beautiful in the summer. But even if I just brought in 6 or 8 friends and crushed an order of pub bites, it'd be a great space to hang out in. I think I have a lot of favorites, but overall, I think the most impressive thing is just the feeling of now the whole space has a similar theme instead of feeling like the rooms were all different. It just feels like one restaurant, even though now you can experience the brand in a couple different ways.
A little more flow. Like I said, or like you said, I think watching a West Virginia Mountaineers game over there, that's what you said, right?
I said Ohio State Buckeyes.
Oh, okay, well, either or. If you're just tuning into the Facebook Live, though, I want to give you one last walkthrough here. So this is the new front entrance, Great Lakes Brewery. They closed down on Sunday the 26th. Hope you okay to go outside? You got your jacket on. Let's go ahead and walk out and kind of get you a look of the outside. So they did a new paint job here on the front. If you remember, that used to be over there where you came into the brew pub. Now we've gone over here to this now being the front door, and this was actually blocked by a table before. So we did a little paint job here, or they did, I should say. One of these doors is open. So this is how you'll enter from now on, is come right here into the middle, into Brew House number 1. Drink rails, a little more open. Got a little bit more breathing space, elbow room. As Allison mentioned, you can possibly catch a peek of them doing a little bit of a brew there. You got the drink rails, all this open, and now we walk down. You come in here. The bar is exactly the same, the 1901 bar. They didn't touch that. They have all the lights, though, up there that they added to kind of put a little bit of an accent on it, but this is still the same here, as they didn't want to touch any of this history. The big change, as Allison mentioned, is over here in the beer garden, which used to be almost more of a patio area, which then got turned into kind of a porch area, which now is kind of a four-season porch. They warmed the space up, redid that wall, added some walls, put in some TVs, new tables, new seating area, where they made this kind of to be a little bit more of a sports bar where you'd want to come and watch the game. And of course they pay tribute to everybody but the West Virginia Mountaineers up there. I got to talk to them about that. So there you go. 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. All this opens. We're going to get a little more in depth too today at 6 o'clock on WKYC. We'll talk to her again and see if we can find some more changes. I know they did the kitchen. Maybe we'll show up the kitchen. But thanks for tuning in to Facebook Live. We'll see you at 6 o'clock.
Yes, you can turn it off. Yeah. Just hit end.